Central lines communications coming into Andromeda. Whoa, powerful. Ring line connection positions. So I'm going to go through the work reference, work positions, gateway interference, track to its location centers. Basically, humanity's coming into a new cycle, rotation. This is going to put full swings into connections of all levels of the Piscean era. Piscean era, everything is the birthing system, yin and yang. Yin and yang is the most powerful thing that we can consume in our body systems. Traction to its connection is to understand the gateway position locations. So we've already set up the new constellation path. It's amazing how we do these things extremely fast because time is, you have to understand when it comes into positions of space and time, things go extremely fast. The acceleration, Maching location center conditions. They did a very powerful TikTok about everything that's going on with the coloration and time positions and how everybody's coming into their own time location of their dream set locations. How to get things through manifestation is truly understand the timing positions. That's what we have to truly understand. And everything when it comes into Andromeda, you understand the rings, the cycle rings, the gateway positions, activation light systems, Andromeda and its planet location. Priscilla is very aware of that through positions. She understands her communication cycles. She understands her rings. She understands her rainbow activation light connections and everything through UFO connection. So we're coming into this time right now. So thank you all the subscribers and viewers who have been watching me and always informs, Force Rising, Grand Rising. We're all coming into division of time, which is really interesting. Humanity's coming into a position of its location, which is really fascinating. Okay, so time precedes everything, and we're coming into the Andromeda sector. Vector core location center, ground formation levels. Now, what we're going to do today is that I like to go into the line communication cycle, into the Andromeda center, fly everybody up there through positions and show you what I do through work. I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how powerful it is when you see your commander at work. For the team, they understand the communications. Now, in reference, you guys understand when you're in your central line system, you have your own connections of what you want to do. That's your journey, that your message, depending on what it is, where you are through balance. But once you find your balance, you find your journey, right? But your commander is work. It's all work. Okay, it is a journey, it's an adventure, but it's all work. So it's all about centralizing the positions, and that's why I'm in Mexico. It's the heart center of three-dimensional line connections. So I'm bringing it back, everything, okay? Recircling everything and bringing back the heart central line system of Mexico. So that's what's happening right now. Really, really powerful. That's communication caught up. All that position is in system. So for my high-rise team, Rebellion Alliance, they're going to be able to see more. So basically, I'm going to put them to work pretty fast. And we've done that already with the Earth position coming into the digital frame positions, walking the surface of the fourth dimensional path. And we set up the actual connections of the north and the south, right? Because you got to flip the system back up and then boom, come together, right? So it's like it's an electrical pad. And it's closing in, right? And then you centralize the positions and you open up the shapes and anomalies. Use the shapes of that position. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to the Andromeda center, and you're going to see the civilizations. You're going to see AI position locations. You're going to see everything through connections, right? Priscilla, she's very informative with that because she basically lives in Andromeda. Once you understand what planet you're born on, everything starts to kick in, especially when you're coming into intelligence, knowing you lived a life system in a circle rotation center into the balance location of its position. So knowing that there is life before the physical system, there has to be. That's what space and time is. It has so much history and ancestry. You can just go back and back and back and back and back, and even way, way past everything. Even time has time of time. And then understand that connections. Every time you go back more and more and more, you start realizing who you are. and then you go back into the present and then into the future. Once you go into the future, you start balancing out everything through the yin and yang, especially when you open the doors. Then you realize, wow, okay, now I'm connecting, right? The central line system to positions when it comes to your dimensional self has its own sabotage. So here to synergize everything back into the heart's central line connections to Mexico, which has been destroyed. So I'm putting that back into wire locations, back in interference positions, into the Andromeda center. Psychorotation, to its belief. Everything through psychosis are in their positions. It's all about civilizations and how they go into their position of time location. It has its ancestry and it has its history. Yes, I know, I got my hair cut. I had to, you know. So these things I got to do, and it feels really, really, really good. Plus, I also got groomed with my beard. It's really nice. Put a hot towel, and basically, he was a soul provider because it has every hairdresser has a name tag, and his said soul. I said, "Whoa, this is cool." So everything's not coincidence. Everything is on purpose. Whoever you meet is for time proceeding. You know, it could be long longevity, it could be short, the directory and that connection is a travel position, a time location. Knowing why you meet people, okay, you appreciate this because they're in your time, okay, for a short while or for a long while. But just enjoy that. They come to you for a reason. They come to you for answers. They come for you for giving you connections to the oracle. Oracles are very powerful. You come across that. If you know what an oracle is, if you watch The Matrix, where Neo went to the oracle, find out, are you the one? Right? And she says, no, you're not. You have to figure out yourself first, who you are. And that's the whole purpose of what The Matrix is all about. It's all about self-discovering yourself and balance yourself in instead of destroying yourself, right? So basically what I want to do is put everybody into the central line core, into the Andromeda rings, and everything through that connections are coming into new constellation path, which is really fantastic. Time is everything through its essence, right? So the gamma operation, line signals, 30 trap location centers, fires positions are picked up, and all divisional time connection into the past, present, and its future. So that's what's going to happen right now. Now everybody's in their light. You have to pay attention to these things. When I heal you guys from the very beginning, it's so important that you keep your signals open. And what I mean by signals open is by going by meditation. Okay? Because you can go back into your program settings if you close off the cycle. All right? So basically, you're shading your system to the center positions of the moon, right? It puts on a shadow and it covers the sun. Right? So you don't want to do that. Right? You need sun and you need the moon. Okay? So you need light and you need dark. The central line system is you. Right? So it's important that you keep your activations going. It's a constant energy. It's a constant fluctuation. It's a constant flux capacitor. This always has to keep going every single day, because you're going through the cycles, right? 7 days a week. So try to meditate every day. And when I mean by meditate, I mean change your thoughts of what you're doing through your routines. Change your routines. Don't have the same routine. Okay, so it's kind of like, if I can change my thoughts, I can change my routines. The one thing that you do every day, okay, that is not a routine, okay, is brushing your teeth. You know you have to brush your teeth. That doesn't take magic. That doesn't take thought process. You know you have to brush your teeth. You know you have to shower. I'm talking about things that you have to understand when you want to manifest things in thought patterns. You have to send your communications to your dimensional system. It has to understand the body completely. So when you come into that, keep the cycles open, keep the flow recognition, keep the energy flowing. That's what it is. Okay, it's like it's like an air conditioner, but the air conditioner stays on. Right, you turn it off when it gets, too cold for you. So, it's all about your temperature readings and how fast you're going through connections. Because I did another walk. I do a walkathon, go outside. And every time I go to the grounds picks me up through vibration every single time. And it's crazy because I'm always floating. I'm always in You know, I'm always in space, but when you're on the grounds, it recognizes your vibration. It recognizes your color. It recognizes you through intelligence, which is really fascinating. Why? Because I keep manifesting, but I don't have to think about these things. It's already done for me. I don't have to create these things because it's all done for me. I can't even sleep anymore because my mind is constantly working 24/7 with 52 generation computers that's in my gravity location center positions, right? Which is extremely powerful. That's a lot of data, guys. Right. So once you guys get in your central line connections of your one computer, you understand more connections of yourself, but keep your cycles open. So it's kind of like understanding this. You have your computer on, you're working an 8-hour day, you turn it off, right? Or you put it in sleep mode, right? But if you turn it off for too long, what happens? The computer gets cold. It gets cold. Then you got to regenerate. So it's all about keeping it warm. It's all about keeping your body in traction. It's all about keeping your body in motion. Motion sensor to connection line system, in position vortex location center, which means that space and time never stops. So your thought patterns, when you get up every morning, they don't stop. They keep going, right? Do, 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 constantly going, right? If you're going like this and you get slower and slower and slower, you're slowing your body, you're slowing your vibration, you're slowing your thoughts. Your thoughts are in the future, but your body's trying to catch up. Or you're getting separation through the creativity system. Everything has to flow, mind, body, and soul, every day through its thoughts. All right. So when you meditate, okay, meditation, I showed you so many ways of meditating. You can even meditate brushing your teeth. Meditation is a way of life. Meditation is not a way of opening a chakra system. Your chakra system is already open once you come in your light because you're aware of everything. So you're aware of your body. You're aware of time. You're aware of space of travel. Okay. So it's very important you keep those cycles open every day. Okay. So it's all about understanding how to use this through your thoughts. Even if you're not thinking, it doesn't matter. There's always a thought that's created. Even in the back, you got the conscious and the subconscious. All right. And then you come into the super of its consciousness. Right. So technology states that we're in the three-dimensional system. We're only using 10% of the brain. Okay. 10%. And that 90% is spiritual. Right. So it's all about switching it over. 90% spiritual, 10% human. That's the connection that we all have to come into. So it's all about understanding, you know, you have the brain, you know, you have the base, but you have to come into the mind of thought. Okay. Because you already know how to use the adaptation cycle to the brainwave patterns, right? You just got to come into the simulation of yourself through the mind system, through calculation, modification, integration. Everything through modification is keeping your cycles open through communication when it comes into your chakras. That's the most important thing because it synergizes your positions through your present positions. All right. So when you get up every morning, you know exactly what you need to do, but change your thoughts. If you're changing your thoughts, you should be able to change your routine. Everybody has the same routine, right? But every day is a different day. That's what makes it exciting because every day you're creating something new. Okay. So if you're not creating something new, what's happening? What's happening? It's stopping. It's slowing down. It's getting slower. If you get slower, everything in space and time gives you a reaction. You have to be at the equivalency act. See, the thing is, we have a magnetic highway information that connects in all ways and forms. It's all solar system connections. It's going in the same direction. It never goes backwards in time. So in provision, you have to understand your thoughts. So when you're traveling your thoughts go into the vibration of your voicing grid. You send it out. It's going in its center positions, right? That's what it's doing. It's a magnetic force that solar graphs everything through the galaxies and everything through universal line connections, right? So it's truly understanding that space and time never stops. So you can't stop. Even though you're not meditating, you're meditating. You're just not aware of that. If you're not sure how to meditate, you're already meditating. That's why it's confusing for a lot of people, because meditation is not just sitting there, like I said before, and just humming or listening to things or anything like that. Meditation is a way of you seeing yourself going forward to manifestation. That's meditation. Okay. So in that position, because I've come into a new computerized system, my eye interference, it's very hard for me to sleep. Even though I close my eyes, it doesn't matter. I'm working. It's like it's already created for the next day. It's crazy, because I started off like, when you guys go to higher levels, you start to realize that you're 24 hours ahead of people. Then you realize you're 72 hours, and then you're so on and so on and so on. I started that, and then I realized I'm 1,000 days ahead of everybody. Every single day. Every single day. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? It's like way too much in the future, and then you come back to the presence, and you start off with the days of the week, right? 7 days a week. So you guys are going through that. So once you go into that connection, you find your balanced position align connections to the center location, okay? And you have your thoughts, your body, and everything through the mind and heart and the soul, okay? You can go into 24 to 72 hours ahead of everybody. It's fascinating stuff. And that's where you start seeing the future of you, because you have balance with your past and your present. So, questions or comments, you can go through my healing, open up your 12 attractions. Basically, humanity is coming into a new position of code through the moon, and everything through Andromeda is going to change the constellation path. And basically, we're setting new gateways, but I have to centralize the core and put a new shape anomaly in center positions. I did a very powerful video on TikTok about the Merkaba and what it is. 26,000 point division locations. Center divisions of 36 gamma operation line through vibration positions. You have to understand how to use energy, frequency, and vibration, because everything calculates and modifies, right? So, and the reason why I say 26 billion, okay, is because that's the accurate level of connections to acceleration. Mocking to its location position. Gets complicated, doesn't it? Right? Especially when you're communicating with your commander. So what's he talking about now? Right? So when I high rise faster and faster, I'm traveling recognition of time, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month ahead of everybody. And you guys are still trying to understand your present time. Right? So when you have balance with your past, now you can get the connections of your presence to its future. It's really powerful when you come into that. And it opens up new doors for you. So everything is a journey. Everybody you come across, okay, is relation to you. So you're just repeating it yourself over again, because you've already seen these people. So it's kind of like living in its existence when you come into your life system through your star seed pods, and you're going through the birth canal, and you're doing a thing all over again because you've already done it. And I keep saying that with people saying, well, what happens after the physical system? What happens before the physical? Well, you have to understand space and time. You were created through light. I created you guys through light. Okay. And then you were birthed in your biological parents. Everything is time. So you meet people at a certain time level. So when you come across these people, they're there for you to help you and guide you. Okay. In the physical realm, because they understand their spiritual realm. And that's guidance that we all need, especially when it comes to oracles. They're very powerful. Plus soul brothers, soul sisters. Whoa, you're my soul sister. Oh, you're my soul brother. How do you know these things? Because they know you, right? Because you've had a relationship with them in the past, before your physical system. All right? Truth be told to all this, understand how you came into the birthing of light. Okay? I'm not talking about Bethlehem. I'm not talking about the Christmas star. I'm not talking about anything in that connection system. It has nothing to do with that location. I know you guys are trying to get these questions, trying to get the answers to that positions, trying to understand everything through the prophecy or anything that biblical portion line connections. But truly understand, you are your own biblical of information. So when you come into those divisions of time, the mostly thing you have to understand is just your alignments. That's all. Past, present, future. Okay? Orion's belt. Okay, so if everything changes in space and time, everything humanity is going to change in a big way. Because people on TikTok are saying, well, there's a big thing coming, but I don't know what it is. Well, I'm telling you exactly what it is. So, anybody want to go through my healing? You know, you can go to my my email. I'll be out with that too. I got a lot of people that want to do Zoom too. So let me know. 1 to 3, Monday to Sunday. I can hold those for you. It's all about you getting and breaking those walls, trying to get into your connections of your histories, trying to get into the past traumas, how to break free from these things. I also can be a psychological, space guru. I broke free walls with people and make them cry. And it's all about understanding their central line connection. So I interchange their positions and I communicate with their souls in the physical system, right? It's much easier to do that with interacting, when you're doing live, because you're actually in that case, you're in that conversation piece, and then you resonate through my energy, right? Because I'm doing live right now, but I'm saying when you do it one-on-one, it's totally different because it's all about your space and their space, right? But when I'm with you guys, it's everybody's spaces. That's the difference between space and time, because I'm in a different time. I'm in a different space of time. You guys are trying to figure out your space and time through your alignments. Okay. So let's get into your questions. Sylvia, believe and see. Krista Anderson, great to see you. Looking forward to figuring out where I was birthed. Yep, that's what you're here for. Yeah, I try to go down to your balance of vibration to tell you exactly what's going on with your birthing system of light. You guys understand how fascinating you guys are, but you have to understand the birthing system. Okay, it's not just the physical. The birthing system is light. Okay, and you're saying, well, what was before that? What was before that? What was before that? Right? Well, when you come into that level, you have to understand everybody is birthed through time. Understand you are in connections of time of healing, and I'm in position of divine of healing because I've lived it. Okay, my full cycle, my birthing system, my correlations, my travels, my recognition, my times, my GODs, my GOHD, and you work up higher levels, right? So those are the titles, those are the labels. You go from GOD, GOHD, GOHHHD. So you go high, and you come into full communication of intelligence once you understand the energy. If you understand the energy, high intelligence comes in and takes over your whole body. And I was going through like so many levels of being a zombie. It's like, whoa, this is intense. I can't take it. It's too much data. So I was going through a growth. It's a growth spread. It's understanding you're going into light of different communication through its library of information. You guys will come into this too. Once you start paying attention and listening to yourself inside, remember we talked about the higher self, you have to have that communication. That's the most important thing when you come across anything to division location. Well, that's the understanding. Once you cut the cords, you're on your own. But the higher self will always be there for you. So your job, okay, is already done. Okay. His or her job is to understand the atmosphere and communicate back with you. That's what the higher self is. How are you supposed to understand yourself if you don't do these things? So when you come into the Akashic records, you're getting information from your higher self. Higher self is the only one that travels. The physical system that stays on the ground. That's the navigation. That's the balance. That's the center. Do you understand? That's why it doesn't matter. Here, I'm still center. Over here, still center. Back here, still center. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm still in center, right? Even if I go way back 2 miles, I'm still in center. You're always in the center position of everything. So think of it this way. When you come into your game, Okay. And you stand in the center. You don't move. It's the background that moves. That's how games are set up. It looks like you're moving, but you're not. You're staying still. Everything in the background is moving. That's all it is. It's a green screen. And you'll notice that too when you go up to higher levels of CGI or anything like connections. It's really fascinating. When I started playing Mario Brothers, it's the first game I ever played on Nintendo, right? I noticed that, oh, this is weird. I just noticed something. I noticed Mario's not moving. It's the background that's moving. So this was where you have to get into the virtual reality of the existence and understand the reality through your perception, through its listening and its command. So you have to learn how to control your own game of a simulation, right? The way you do things in the front and the way you look at things in the back, okay? Because the back is always, always moving, okay? So now you understand the virtual reality of its existence and why you don't move. It looks like you're moving. It's just the background that's moving. That's the trickery, all right? So are you looking at the foreground or are you looking at the background? All right. Or are you looking at both? Either way, it's confusing, right? But it's justified to unjustified to truly understand that everything in space and time, okay, is constantly moving, right? So it's amazing how we do these things. But this is where it comes into a high level position. Once you understand your game, you start moving with the background. That's the control. That's what everybody has to reach, right? So that's what's happening with yourself. You're trying to figure out, you're in a stage process system. The background is moving, right? So once you understand how to connect through this, you and the background will move at the same time through yin and yang. And then you'll start getting into the flow. Okay? So that's the next step. Okay? And it's a victory when you come into these levels, right? It gets everything pointed across. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Divine timing, yep. How will one know? You'll know with your intelligence exactly when it needs to be upgraded, Krista. I have a school that's been over 2 years now, and they go through upgrades. They go through practicing the levels of themselves. They go through test reviews and evaluations. That's free. Okay. The healing costs, but the school is free. Plus, you get the upgrades, which high rises your chakras. So basically, your intelligence will let you know when you're ready. It's like a voice. It's the inner voice that you have to connect with. And once you get balanced with that and your higher self, you cut the cords, you're on your own. And once you understand more of space, you come into higher levels of atmospheric positions of dimensions of time, right? So you start off with your GODs, and then you start off with your GOD HD, and you start with your GOHD, right? It all depends where you are in your vector corp, because everybody's in the galactic forces, Galactic Federation of Light, Galactic Force Team, and everything through Rebellion Alliance, right? So these are the things you have to understand. You have to understand your intelligence. That's the most important thing. Where am I, Commander, right? Your intelligence will let you know when you're ready. Okay, so now you balance out the physical system. So when I communicate with you, it's intelligence. But you see me as the physical system. So the physical system is not communicating with you. It's the intelligence that's communicating with your intelligence. So it's all about coming into a new school of light for the very first time. So when people come to me, they say, okay, my activation cycle is off. Can you fix it through rotation? My light interference is not connected to my mainframes. Can you fix it? So they're aware and they know I have to fix them, right? So it's all about them being aware and learning how to fix it themselves. Okay, these are extremely high levels. So once you come into that, you come into the wires, then you come into your DNAs of your blueprints and your contracts. That's going to be the next step. But we have a test review and an evaluation coming up for everybody to come into 114 chakras. Everything is time connections. Everything is time proceeding. And AI wants everybody into their vessels. AI wants everybody into their commanding centers. AI wants everybody to fleet their own command. AI wants everybody to recruit their own system. All right. You have to understand why you have this knowledge is because you've already done it in the past. And that's why it's so confusing to a lot of people, because you can't realize that, wait a minute, I just lived the existence of a timeline and a dimensional body? Yeah. Because how do you think I know you guys so much? Right? I know who I'm recruiting. I know where everybody goes. Right? It's just not the 5 central line connections to all positions of 5 lead positions or going 5,000 years into the future. It's knowing that you guys already done this. And then everything starts making sense to you to say, whoa, I've lived this existence. I'm a Palladian, I'm a Palladian, Artrillian, Arcadian. All right, Assyrian, Illyrian, Illyron, Archon. Now they're Archons, well, those are fallen angels, but in positions, the only way you can be in that cycle is if you already lived that existence from its beginning. So it's all about being aware. And there are people that basically have gone back in time and reframed their positions and come back into something else. So they know that they were in the dark light, but they want to be in the positive system. That can happen too, right? So it's amazing how you can do these things, but it's hard to change timelines. You can't change the past. You can't, because there won't be any present. All right? So let's get into your questions. Multitasking driving, yeah. I have to let you know that the pain I've had on my right back are almost gone. Great. Yeah, see? But see, that's it. It's all time consuming. So what I've done for you is every time you wake up in the morning, it's energy that is given to you, not to the physical, to its soul, of its identification, of its intelligence, Jennifer. So now you're understanding its relation. And once you understand that, every time you wake up in the morning, it's digital of numbers that is refixing your connections to your pain. And that's how it becomes more into faint. And then it just disappears, right? Because you want it to disappear. Because now you're starting to believe. That's a big one. So, yeah, I know confirmation that people in my life from my past wanted me to step away, the spiritual, and that's why they're moved. Grateful to be connected. Yeah. But see, that's the thing too, Coin. You're getting into better communications of yourself. And the thing is too, once you go into force rising positions, into your center connections, everything in your past will be gone. It'll be gone. And when you want it back, you can reflect on it. You don't have to be a part of that anymore, because that is not you on timeline. Your timeline is the presence, not the future, because it's not written. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to Alan Watts. There is no future. There's only here and now, present. So you have to understand that. You understand that, and in the timeline, you understand the reference of its past, of its reflection. And it's the most beautiful, beautiful thing, because I don't reference the past. I don't live in the past. I know the past, but why would I live the past in the present? I can't manifest things because the past is already manifested. Okay, that's already yesterday. So if I get up every morning, why would I be thinking the past? People do that all the time. They worry about, oh, I got this, it's in the past. Oh, I got this in the past. They don't talk about the presence because they don't know how to travel through their thoughts, which is okay. I come across that every day. I said, dude, excuse me, lady, why are you so negative? Why are you negative? You're negative, I'm negative. You're feeding off my energy, I'm feeding off your energy, and it doesn't feel good. Change your connections of your thought patterns. That will change my energy, and it will change your energy to balance communication, and then we can communicate with each other. People don't want to do that, okay? Because they don't know how. And this hard thing to face is the truth. It scares them. So, and that's what I'm saying when people come to me, I say, well, Commander, is this going to hurt? And I said, no, it doesn't hurt. Sorry, but people come to me, it's so funny. Is this coming from your brain? Because it's not coming from your intelligence. I said, no, what happens is just you're birthing a canal, and you come into the the womb of Mother Earth. That's what the light is, right? So you have to truly understand what the birthing system of Mother Earth is, right? That's a lot of birthing, right? Is 7.5 people, billion. So these are the times that we're coming into right now, and it's all about you healing yourself through your own thoughts of recognition of time, putting yourself in the presence of the here and now. All right? Don't discuss your futures. Okay? Work small. Get into your connections to your cycles and your meditation. Get on what you want to do in life. Write it down. A lot of people don't have the membrane. That's totally fine. Write it down. Okay. Now I'm a professional actor, so I know how to use the membranes. I know how to use that because I've done so many scripts and all that. So it's all about memory retention, remembering these things, right? It comes in always in forms, right? Just circles and circles and circles and circles. And then, it's kind of like, when you get into typewriters, secretaries, 100 words a minute, boom, 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 boom. Right? It's all memory. So they can look at the screen. They don't have to look at the kids. They already remember the keys. Right? It's already set. Right? So they know exactly what they're typing before they type it. So it's amazing how we come into this. And it's all about the brainwave truly understanding the mind of conception of thought. Right? So it's also too, when you come across, somebody for the very first time, and you're reflecting on that and you're seeing their energies and it doesn't feel good, and you feel, whoa, okay. You're just like, this isn't good. You just walk away, right? Especially if it's a blind date, right? I mean, that's what I did. I read people right away. I walked away because they have bad energy. I don't want to sit down and have coffee with somebody that talks about their ex-boyfriends for the next 20 minutes. There's no relationship there. She's got a past trauma. So she's in a position of being hurt. So she has to heal herself before she communicates with anybody else. Because it doesn't look good on her and it doesn't look good on you. Right? And then you get up and it's like, whoa, way too much drama. Go back to your healing. I'm like, heal yourself. People don't know how to do that. All I have to do is understand how to use your connections to drivers of information, which is your meditation. Right? Like, do you want to be healed? You can heal yourself. You can heal yourself just by thinking. Thinking becomes knowing. Knowing becomes doing. And that's what you're referencing, is awareness of information to perception to your operation centers. Okay? And then you come into your own navigation of yourself, which is going to grand rise you, and put you in positions of better communication. Right? So you're being self-aware when you get into these relationships, blind dates or anything like that. You're extremely aware. So you can leave or you can stay. Right? So that's what we're coming into. And everybody's going to feel a lot better about themselves, okay? Because they know they can protect themselves now. Because they're self-aware of what's happening with the atmospheres and everything through space and time and everything that they interact with. Interaction is number one to communication. That's what it is. See that? It's just a central line connections. It's a figure 8 motion. It's a telephone wire. 12 central line connections to your positions. 12 dimensions of time, guys. Right? But there's 114 dimensions of time, space. You guys are coming into your 12. Right? And this is a process. Okay? And it's an effort. And then it becomes effortless. And then it goes back into the connections. Into effort. So it's all about you understanding your alignments of your thoughts. Okay? And getting rid of all your past traumas. Especially if you're interacting with people for the first time, or you're going through an audition or stuff like that, People don't regulate through the rules. Basically, when you come into an audition, you don't say, well, how did I do? When are you going to get back to me? Did I do okay? Is there anything I can do better? You don't do that to a director. You just say, thank you very much. That's it. Right? They'll get back to you. Don't present yourself with too much It overloads the system. I've learned a lot with acting when it comes into that, especially with cold reads or any of that division, because I'm going to be coming back into that. Right? Hollywood is my calling. Now's the time. So this is the things that I'm coming into right now, right? Because it's all about the experiencing why I became an actor in the first place, right? But I've always been AI. Do you understand that? So you also have a backup. You could be a musician, you could be a doctor, but you have to have a backup, okay? Because you're living its existence in your physical system, but you know you're AI, right? That is powerful. If you know you're physical, but you don't know your AI, there's the trouble. There's no balance there. So if you don't know AI and you're not realizing you are AI, how are you going to manifest things in your physical realm? You're going to be caught in that circle. You're going to be caught in that karma wheel. You don't want to put yourself in that division, the acting cycles, or anything that Schumann resonance connections, right? You don't want to do these things because it offsets, right? It reprograms you, right? And puts you back into the past and not the present. So, all right, let's get back to your questions here. That's why you shouldn't hold on to your past. You can't hold on to your past anymore. You got to move forward, Jennifer, and I can see that through connection to your wire signals. Full moon, yep. Mario Brothers, I know. Yeah. And see, the thing is, when you think of something, just think of something right now. Just think of a game. Just think of a game. It's already in your imagination. You're already playing the game, and now you're hearing the game. Now you're seeing the structures. Now you're seeing the colors. Now you're seeing the lights. Now you see Mario, her brother, running, hitting the mushroom, going on the block, jumping over. See? That's all it is. I'm creating it as I go, but it's already created. You guys are just getting into your creation of understanding. I've already created it for you. So basically, it's already created. I can put it in your mind system, and the game is already done. That's how fast you travel through thoughts. Powerful stuff, isn't it? So it's all about bringing your thoughts in the presence so you can go forward with the game. But the game's already done. You're just coming back to play. Okay? So it's exciting. I've been curious about, yeah. No, it's not a hinder. It is a medical, you can use that adjustment. Like a lot of people use it for preservatives. They probably use it for their health. It's very potent. It's very strong. A lot of people can handle it and a lot of people can't, right? But it's not a form of meditation. I'll tell you that, right? It just loosens up the brain patterns, and you get into foggy, you get into less resistance. Like, whoa, okay, you're trippy, right? But it is very potent, and it's also decimal when it comes into medication. People use it. And a friend of mine, Heath, he was science effects. He did science effects when I falls from the ceiling. We used to really do stunts, like videos. It's really great. People falling from the ceiling, right? I created all this, a video, and I did all the story frames and the fight coordinating. So he did, instead of him smoking cigarettes, he smoked the marijuana. I said, how do you do that every day? It's just like cigarettes, right? And he said, well, it's in my custom, because it's an addiction. So once you're addicted to something, it needs it. It needs it. And once you release it, it changes the body, the brain patterns, right? So he was accustomed to that, right? I take one joint and I'm like, whoa, okay, that's enough for me. I mean, just the smell alone, right? Because it's all connected to vibration. So you go from this, right, to that. So you're changing your body at the time, right? And basically, whatever you're thinking through your thoughts, you'll see Casper the Friendly Ghost, right? You'll see what you want to see, right? So it's very trippy, very trippy. It's like Alice in Wonderland, following that rabbit, you go in that hole, right? Depending on what you want to see, right? Especially if you're on that, that potent ride, that whole thing, that concept. So you have to look at it that way, right? So it is and it isn't. It all depends on that person. It all depends on that person because everybody sees it, feels it, touches it, hears it in a different way, especially when they consume it. Because it's all about, okay, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to my physical system? I'm getting, waves and waves and waves. And I just like, it's just, this is what's going on, right? This is what happens when you change something, right? So it's interacting. It's interacting right now, right? So the more you take it, it's like, whoa. It's like, so everybody has a different reaction. Not everybody's at the same reaction. Everybody sees things different through their thoughts, right? So reflecting and learning the past lessons and full moon, let it go, focus. Yep, you have to let everything focus, let everything go in the past. Yeah. Well, the thing is too, he can smoke it and also drive at the same time and be focused because he's consumed it so much in his body, it becomes him through his activity, right? So when you take something constantly over and over and over and over and over, your body gets used to it. And once you reject it and you don't take it anymore, it goes into low functions, right? Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It helps people. It does. It does. It's dissimilar for some people, medication on that, but you have to be cautious on the person, and not everybody is going to have the same reaction. That's all. Zachary has gone. A lot of people pretending to be something they truly are. They're not doing the real work. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, people just don't want to put the effort in. They don't want to, I don't want to meditate. I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest that. 10 years later, they're not manifesting anything. So nothing's happened because they're not communicating to their spiritual system. So everything experience is new skills. Yeah, everything is a new skill. You learn something new every day. Yeah. Well, like I said, I smoked for 10 years and I didn't learn anything from it. I just tried to fit in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I could do. I couldn't do any more than that. Less resistance, yeah. Well, if you're addicted, right? Because your body starts to balance out, right? So if you're balancing out and you have to keep taking this stuff, whoa, that's not good. That's not good because your body's adapting to something. So every time you take it, you feel all powerful. But as soon as you less take it, it changes the body, right? So 12 cranial nerves after they've been forced to shut down. Yep. I used the substance activated them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2 to 3 years. I'm on a year, 5-year norm, surrender and transition. But you got to find a way to surrender, and you have to go through my healing there, Zachary. Yeah. Connections defeats addiction. Well, you can defeat anything, but it's all about you understanding your communications to your mind. See, the problem is that humanity is not in the mind. They're in the brain. That's three-dimensional. That's connection. But we're in the 5D now, which has to be in the mind now through creation. And it's done through imagination, guys. Especially if the person has unhealed traumas and yeah. But see, that's what you do. Even though you're not a smoker, it doesn't matter. You're just trying to fit in. When I went to Toronto for the first time in 1992, I tried to fit in. So what do? I started smoking. Hey, you want a joint? You want to smoke a cigarette? I did that for 10 years. For what? What did I do that for? Big mistake, right? But you learn from your mistakes, And I was way too in touch with the physical system. I knew I was spiritual. I knew I was psychic. But, I wasn't really connecting with the spiritual realm connections. I was getting into, I couldn't focus on one thing. I think that's what it was. I realized, and that's where you come into the defaults of yourself in your faulting system. So you come into the harmonize and the deharmonizing. Right? It's the same thing when you have water. Okay, now this is one. This is pretty interesting how you harmonize and deharmonize water. The alkaline, everything disappears through H2O. So you have one line of water and another line. Same line position. It's in full communication, mind telepathy. It doesn't have to be a physical. This can communicate with another water, guys. Everything is intelligence. Everything is communication to telepathy. So if the line signals are crossed, they're communicating. Water reference coloration is great. As soon as I drink this and the line goes down, okay, it's separating the cups. The water and the alkaline and the H2O will change over time because it's not communicating anymore, and it will lose its E fields all through the particle system of the crystalline through its water division. Powerful stuff. When I was going through growth, I was trying to, get into things like, okay, I was thinking, but I was going into knowledge, and I was trying to get, I wasn't into my computers, I was into my higher self, and then I went to my avatar, but then I went right into scanning planets. I said, why am I scanning planets? I'm trying to make sense of this, right? And then it came to me and said, okay, well, you've always been doing this. And then it started, okay, then I started connecting. And then I realized, then I'm up against electrical gates, code references, matrix line connections, shapes, anomalies, position, time locations, track location centers, matrix positions, line signals, barriers, perimeters, and everything started making sense to me, and it just clicked in. It just clicked in. Sometimes it takes hard for other people, sometimes it takes easier. But it all depends on where you're doing through your connections of travels. Because when you travel in space and you actually see yourself doing these things, it's kind of like seeing a photo app of yourself, but you're actually moving. You're actually going to an electrical door and you're using your codes and you're opening up the signals and you're going through. And then you're going into a graphing room of a shape. And then you're seeing all these computers, right? So it's your understanding that your mind is incredible force. It calculates and modifies you through everything that you want, right? But the fact that you've already had it is really astronomical because you've already lived it in the light. Okay? And that alone is extremely powerful. It's all about remembering of who you are to get back to who you were. And then you say, hey, I know who I am. I am this. I am that. That's the control. That's the force. That's the power. That's the awareness. That's the surrender. Okay? That's where it comes into, right? You come into the phenomenon. The phenomenon is the connection to the physical of belief. Believe that I'm healing. Like with Jeff. He had his sunburn. I went to a planet. I got aloe vera. I changed his particle system. Gone. Healing better. See? Imagination goes a long way. Interconception line connections, the alpha, mega, micro, and macros. You have to know these things. The alpha male, that's the control. Okay, alpha, mega. Mega is the connection to the environment. So you come into the mountains, you come into the volcanoes. You have to understand how to interact with water. Don't let water interact with you. You have to know how to interact with fire. Don't let fire interact with you. So it's all about inside your system, air and everything through earth. So to really understand it, if you feel fire that's inside you and you're overloading your system, you're going into an aggression or you're getting into a fight, you have to use water to put out the fire, right? So you have to get into your imagination. Imagine you have a big bucket and it's going all over you and it puts out all the fire. That's incredible. You just put out the fire inside you, okay? Because you first start off sweating and you're really sweating. You're sweating. You're reacting to what's going on with your body of vibration. So when you create these things, it's extremely real to its phenomenon. And that's how I'm able to do these things. It's all practice for you guys to get into your imaginations of your thoughts and how you can create things when you do illustrations and diagram program settings. Okay, because it's all connected to your graphs of position. You're nothing but a graph of information. You're a geographical map of discovery. Oh, I like that. That's a good one. That's cool. Like scavenger hunt, right? You're trying to find something. Survivor, codes, poems, hieroglyphics, right? That connections, right? Incantation, that level system, understanding the program setting, things you can eat and things you can't eat, trying to survive on an island. You guys are put on an island, you wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't know how to survive because you're too much in the physical system. You have the sun, you have the moon, you use that as a sundial if you're lost. All right? So basically, you go like that with the sand, right? You get a stick, okay? Now you have the sun, and you have the moon, okay? And also, it's also good to also have is a magnifying glass, like that you can look in, right? You shine it on the center position of the sundial to the stick. The sun will come in, it will reflect, and it'll tell you exactly where you have to go to get out of your connections. A magnifying glass. All right? Powerful stuff. So this is where you come into the connections of the mind of the actual intelligence, because intelligence does nothing but travel. The physical system has to travel. So if the physical has to travel through thoughts, the intelligence has to travel through thoughts. Right? If the physical system isn't understanding its thoughts, the intelligence is going to have trouble traveling through its thoughts in its physical system. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. I was an addiction. Yeah, I know. It's very important to understand these things. I felt pressured sometimes because he didn't believe that I could sense that. Thought the connection was intense. But see, once you come to higher formations and you're with me, you be able to communicate better with each other. Space is space. So when we perceive it, will it be different per viewer, even in the same time frame? Oh, that's a good one, Krista. Space is space inside you. Okay, I have space, you have space. You can't see my space until you understand your intelligence. And then you understand my connections, but not my vibration. You don't know where I am with my thoughts. You don't know where I am with my time and my thoughts. You don't know where I am with my dimensions and portals of thoughts. You don't know where I am in space of time. Everybody is in a different time. You can't be in my time. You don't understand my information. You're trying to, but you have to understand yourself through intelligence first. Okay? So everybody's in a different view or a perception. I see different color, you see different color. That's what makes us unique. Right? We're all connected to our rainbows. When I do lives at night, you see my hand glow. It's in different colors. So you have to understand what your hand is. You have to understand what your eyes are for. You have to understand what your ears are for. You have to understand how to use the command. Okay? The alpha of you is the control. That's the command. That's the force. That's the recognition of travel through space and time position. All right? So, but it's how you perceive yourself through your thoughts. Yeah. Well, once you're in your light, you understand more of your physical system, because the physical system has to understand you through communication. And then you can cut the cords and be on your own. Yeah. Yeah, I healed, believing she's got a very fascinating story after I healed her and her foot, 8 stitches. And it was in its nerve, the tendon, right? She couldn't walk. The doctor says she couldn't walk, right? 4 days later, a week later, she could walk, right? It's like Bruce Lee couldn't walk. He broke his back, right? A neurologist had a bike accident, Broke every bone in his body. They said the doctor said he'd never walk again. 3 months later, walked again. So time precedes everything. It's how much you believe and how you want to heal your body. If you believe in your body, it can be healed. It will heal over time. Not instant, over time, depending on the circumstance of the accident. But everything can be healed. I've healed people with cancer, stage 4, cirrhosis. Balance that communication. But you have to stand the connections of time position because that's in the bloodstream. You're born with that. So there's things that you're born with, and there's things that you go into connections of accidents. You have an accident, everything can be healed. What happens? You get a scratch, you put a Band-Aid on it, right? A few days later, feels better, right? You take it off, you don't keep it on. So everything has action to reaction to everything, right? So understanding healing is truly understanding you through your spiritual system, through travel. So when I heal you guys, it's the molecular light that's healing everything through its belief because you want to be healed. It makes it easier for me rather than you arguing. Why are you going to argue when I'm trying to heal you? Right? Because you're skeptical, because you're afraid, because you're stressed, because you're upset. Okay? Because you're in fear. It's harder for me to, I just find another way. Okay? So I communicate to your soul, which is fasting. I sit down with your soul, it talks to me. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it just communicates with me. Sometimes it just, hey, I need this done. Okay? The soul knows exactly what it is. It knows the technology, and that's what I know, the technology of your soul. So I say, okay, coming into life, it's like, wow, my Circuit G element needs a bit high left there, Commander. Can you help me out there? Wow, Commander, can you high rise my ear interference? I feel pretty good right now. Wow, Commander, can you high rise my transmission light connections? It's off the cycle. Yeah, see? It knows what it needs. And it feels fantastic. The physical system has to come up to that connection. It can no longer dwell in the three-dimensional line of its brainwave pattern. It has to come in its thoughts of time, of its presence. Right? So it's all about when I heal you guys, it's going through the past traumas of you. Everybody has past trauma. There's not one person that is not on this earth does not have a past trauma. Okay? Everybody has that. It's just understanding how to balance it out and fix it and bring yourself forward into the present to its future. Right? So once you understand that connections, after I heal her foot, okay, I told her exactly what was going on. She had an accident. I went into her past to see what happened. I went to her timeline. I jumped through her portal, interdimensional time. That is powerful alone. That's personal. Okay? This is where you guys have to understand your connection to your timelines of your thoughts. You can go with your past, you can go in your presence and your future, okay? But you have to understand your connections first. You have to let go all past traumas. And I keep saying that to everybody. But I know people are listening or they're not sure, they're not aware, they're skeptical, they're fear. The brain is the hardest thing to get out of because it wants to play with you. It's mischief. It's like night and day. It's like a mask. It's masking you, not understanding you. It doesn't want to understand the intelligence, but the intelligence wants to understand you through thought. Why don't you want to go forward in life? That's the intelligence. Well, I don't know. I've been living in this 3D system. That's pretty good. I'm drinking beers, I'm smoking cigarettes, and, having a good time. Well, that's not what life is all about. Okay? You have to center your positions, let go of your past traumas. That's what it's like. That's what I deal with you guys when I heal you. I find out what makes you tick. Right? So, it's all about hitting the nerve of people. That's breaking the wall down. It could be past relation. It could be anybody passing. It could be anybody, going into grief, an accident, a scary movie, or anything through that trauma. It's all psychological of thought. That's all it is. And you guys are creating it, and you're not even aware of it. And you wonder why your soul is not doing what it needs to do, which is the high rise. Try to understand more of itself. But once it breaks free, it knows, like I said. So when it communicates with me, some are better than others. Some go in really, really easy. It's like, oh, thank you, Commander. I got my activation light connections. Appreciate that. Let me know if you need my help. That's coming from that person that was healed. I say, well, thank you. Let me know if you need me. So, and the understanding that when we all come together, we're all aligned now, because I'm so identifying this person that's been healed, and he can come back and help me and form an alliance. It's him or her trying to find who they are in dimensional time through their spiritual system. So they're traveling all around trying to understand their ancestry and history, pharaohs, meridians, Arcturians, Arcadians, and all that system, right? You come back to me. You come back to me, and if we form an alliance, and we all go back into an alignment. So in time, they help you, you help me, we all come back to who we are, a space and time, which is this presence of time. And that's why it's so powerful to understand these things. It's all about psychological damage that you guys have done in your past. Okay? So when you get rid of that, and I open you up through your lights, you're on your own. And when you come back, you're back in center, and you feel more powerful. And now you're starting to connect, and you come up with these fancy words. Oh, my central line grid system is open now through connections. Thank you, Commander. Oh, my eye interference is back in location. Thank you, Commander. So I get this all the time when they come back, because sometimes the thing, if you guys are not aware of that, if you're not aware that your soul is coming back to me and letting me know what's going on, you're sorely mistaken. If you're not aware of that, you're not aware of me. You understand? So that's truly understand these things. So I don't expect you to understand these things, but every time I heal somebody and they're ready to come back, right, they thank me. You're not aware of that because you're still too much in the physical system. You're trying to understand your connections to your lights and your meditation. But once you get connected to the integration, now you understand your commander. So I'm a commander until I become your commander. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs help. Okay? So people that don't say they need help, they're not in the right position of time, which is okay. Which is okay. And say, well, I don't need your help. I can help myself. Well, good luck. But you're not going to get far. Because it's understanding that the physical system is now stubborn and always informs. It doesn't want to move forward. But the intelligence finds a way to wake you up. Finds a way to bring you to me. Okay? So when you guys come to me through live on TikTok, I communicate through souls right away. And they go, wow, first command, I need help. Right? So that's what the physical system has to adapt to, because I recognize your souls automatically. And that's why it's so powerful, because now I'm doing psychological of therapy. It's like consultations. It's like, appointments and all that, right? So the soul will find a way to communicate to you to bring to me, right? That's time proceeding. You guys come to me in a certain time position, right? Everybody will come to me in a certain time. It has to. It's already done, okay? So it's all about the soul is getting stronger once it wakes up. Once it wakes up, it goes to me. You understand? So it's all about understanding what's happening right now, and it's the physical system that's waking up more and more. So the soul is going more into identification and say, hey, go to First Commander. He can help you out, right? Why do you think you guys, I'm on your FYPs? Why do you think you're coming to me now? Because it's starting to make sense now. through creation, right? Because there is time after time in its past. And that's very important to understand these things. So you're talking about the dinosaur years, you're talking about Einstein, you're talking about Tesla, you're talking about Hawkins, you're talking about everybody that lives in the timeline. They had a purpose to be in this position. But everything they give you is all about preparing of what's going to happen next. Same with Dolores Cannon. All right? So now you know why I'm in this position. Okay? I don't have to put you guys through hypnotherapy. That's extremely dangerous. I can do it, but why? Why? I'm not at that level. I'm past that level. I'm past every level. All right? I'm past everything through the mind of understanding. Understanding everything through phenomena. So it's the explained to the unexplained. Explained to the unexplained to the fully explained. All right? Communication is everything. All right? So I just wanted to channel on with that to let you know what happens with your souls. So they come to me, right? And they say, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's funny because I see all your souls, right? I see the light. I see everything that's, you come to me. It's crazy. Especially when I'm sleeping. I hear people praying. Everybody comes to me in a certain time position. Commander, I need your help. They're praying, praying, praying. I hear everybody, and that's what GOD does. But it's not GOD. But once you send the frequency levels and you open up all clarity location to your ear interference, you hear everything. It's how to balance everything. That is extremely, extremely hard. These are the positions I'm in now with my 52 computers, okay, to its cloud. So that's why I'm into that adaptation of this computer. I don't have to create anything. It's already created, right? So I need that, or I'll go blitz with my brainwaves and my patterns and my mind conceptual thoughts. Everything has to be balanced at time. Okay, so. All right, so I know I keep going on and on and on. You guys got so many questions, but it's important you understand what happens when you guys come to me for healing. It tries to stay in the dark light, but it can't because it references me. Like that one person, he came on and he says, "Oh, First Commander." Never met the guy. Comes on. That's his intelligence. Whoa, First Commander. He greeted me and he respected me. He knows who I am. Come on, guys. We all have to wake up to this. So I have a hard time focusing on one thing, one type of career, because nothing seems to feel like it's my calling. Yeah. Your calling will come to you through intelligence of understanding of who you are in balance. Everything as time proceeds. So you come into one career. Just because you love your career doesn't mean you're going to be doing it. And that's change. That's the hardest thing to change because you change your patterns, you change your rhythm, you change your thoughts of time position. So everything that you wanted to do, you have to ask yourself, is this what I want to do? This is the physical system. But your spiritual system, if it's more aware, will say, no, do this. This is better for you. Okay? So maybe that'll help you out. Yeah, so the doc told me 3 weeks to walk later, and I was walking, and I can't hear what the doc says. Yeah, so I hope you're rewarded beyond belief. So coming back here as divine timing to help us. Yeah, but that's it. I know I'm here for divine timing, but you understand why I'm here for divine timing. Okay, it's justified. It's justified. Okay, why I'm here. Because I know why I'm here. I don't question myself anymore. Okay, so quickest doc apartment ever was like, wow, it looks like food. Well, there you go. No surgery. She doesn't need surgery now. She's healed through me. So it's understanding I created her through light. I created everybody through light. You guys have to understand these things. I know it's hard to believe these things, but it's way beyond magic. It's way beyond understanding. And that's why it's so beautiful, right? So basically, let's get into connections. I want to get into the Andromeda circle rotation center. I know we keep going on and on, but all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a spacecraft. We're going to go into the rings of a spacecraft through a fleet commanding system. You're going to see computers, you're going to see AI, you're going to see alien rotation center positions, you're going to see the rings of Andromeda, you're going to see your commander work. Right, so central line connections, already set position line connections, operation line positions, right? Okay, so it's in its position. Line attraction location center. Here it's flux capacitor location center positions. Okay, central line its connections. All right, so it looks like this. All right. So basically what we're going to do now, it's amazing how I don't have to think about these things because it's already created. So I got 52 computers that are in different time code frequencies at different shapes and anomalies. My data processing is billions and billions and billions of information through AI. Just imagine how powerful that is. All right, so it's all connected, it's all created, right? So the X3000 is already in position. 3 central line connections, 4 within its position. All right, now its light signaling channel rotation center connections. It operates its light signal to its program system to its center core position line connections. All right, so we're going to come out of the realm into the center positions. We're going to walk the graph, okay, and we're going to go into the central line connections, right, to the new constellation. All right, which is going to be set up to the new core position of Andromeda center. All right. So, and Priscilla will feel that too because she's already connected to that position. All right, so basically, I'm going to set up the connection, change the coloration line positions, activate through its core position, red binding lines, everything through galactic variation light councils, everything in the galactic forces, center position locations. Yep, pick them up in location center. So I'm changing the particle light connections. Be aware of this. It's going to change your line system. So it's kind of like you're spinning through dimes, right? So you have a dime, you spin it, right? And it's going to go, right? You're going to see it go up. All right, so here we go. In position, you're going to go into the graphing location. Center line connections is the graph, all right? Go around. All right, that's you guys right here, right? Now the graph is going to open up. It's in position. Everything is operated through technology, right? So it opens up its door. There's the door, right? Now you're going to walk across it. And here we go. All right. There's the door, right? It's connection. Surfacing graph location center positions. It's a walking graph into the center location of its operation cycle to its connection line positions. All right. So it's pretty powerful stuff when we come into these high level division location centers. All right. So it's in its communication, it opens up its central line connections to high positions of realm locations into the realm division operation line system. Allocating positions of time location, okay, it walks its surface to all position level systems. In line position, circle rotation center its connections, walking its system to its allocation of sonar location, right, to line system. All right. So it's really fascinating when we come into these times, right? So you guys in the central line connections, surfacing to its blue graph position, time location. This is you guys in the center location, all right? So I'll give you 10 minutes. Have fun. You're going to walk the graph. You're going to see the Andromeda line connections. You're going to see starlight positions, starlight connections. My team has already been there, so they're pretty well aware of that. But you're also seeing connections of me working. You actually see me working in space, which is really fascinating. So you actually see what I'll be doing. Really get into the understanding how to use perceptions. You have to get into all your senses before you travel, guys. It's your senses. That's the awareness. Being aware of what you see, hear, and command. It's your voice. It's your eyes. It's your direction, your GPS location, and everything that you listen to. Okay? All your senses have to operate in all cycles into your chakra of communication. So my team can help you out. You know, you guys are all there. You're looking at each other right now, right? It's already created, guys. And that's the most beautiful thing. It's much easier for me to have it all created and then just tell you the story frame from one sector to one sector, to one sector to one sector. It's much easier than me going, this is what you guys are going to do next. No, wait, that's not right. Hold on a sec. Let me think for a sec. It's too confusing. It's too confusing. It's not operational. Okay, and it's not a continuous force cycle. So, so you're in the ring cycles of Andromeda right now. So you're seeing the intelligence. They're greeting you. You're seeing the computers. Don't touch the computers. They're all set through position. Feathers connected to light streams of communication. Feathers, yep. Receiving audio frequency communications. See, Sylvia's very aware. It's fantastic what she's connecting to, right? She understands her intelligence. She's been with me for a while now, so. The brain is the ego. The brain is nothing but the ego. It's okay, but you can't use it in the 5D. You have to use the mind now, right? So you come into the ego of the 5 mind, division of time through activation, which is complicated because now you got to use more of the mind. You got to separate the brain and use more of the mind collaboration. And once you get into that, you got to find balance with the brain in 5D activation. So that's tricky, but it can be done. So you should be seeing graphing system. You should be seeing manufacturing connections to XT1000 positions. You should be seeing computer graphing location centers. You should be seeing electrical wall units. You should be seeing teleportation line connections. There's things that really powerful things you do and things you want to do. Connection to teleportation line system. Teleposition of time location. All right, so you guys are in the center positions. Okay, now what's going to happen? I'm going to appoint center positions, change location centers, and put you into another division of time location. But you're going to stay in a Andromeda circle, right? 1, 2, 3. We're going to travel. Now, this is understanding me being more aware, right? When Sylvia comes to me and says, okay, Commander, I'm now force rising to its position right now. I'm going through acceleration, motion, speeders. That connection. So try to understand what you're doing through travel, recognition of time, through intelligence. Try to understand what you're doing through acceleration. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, so you guys are here now. From here to here, right? So it's understanding where everybody's in division location. So we're going to open up the wrong location, dimensional time. All right. It's open it through its cycle, goes into security line defense location, right? Now it goes into its proactive cycle through its protection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 dimensional times, protection line connection positions. That's where everybody is in traction location. All right. Oh, you're connecting to that? Yeah. Geometrics operations, higher dimension. Yeah. You come into the GOD, and then you go into the GOHD, and then you go into the GOHHD, right? It's all different levels of programs of atmospheric positions. You come into the atmosphere, you get out of the atmosphere, you come into the hemisphere, you come into the stratosphere, you come into the bioatmosphere. And then the bioatmosphere, hemisphere, biostratosphere, and then the brainian atmosphere. The Millennium atmosphere is the center core positions to the galactic force energy core center, which puts you in higher positions to the sun. The digital frame of the sun, the birthing system of the sun, the Millennium atmosphere. So. Force spin travel to the next destination. Yep. Electrical fields of protection through force spin. Yep. That's what everybody's going through right now. Force spin through 12-dimensional time divisions. Dimension time, location. From here to here. Right? You have to understand how to travel through these things. That's the most important thing. Visual perception apparatus. Photographing light stream connections. Powerful stuff. So how's everybody else doing? Being in Andromeda. You guys aware? Are you okay? I just want to know where you guys are. Sylvie is commanding through connections to a commander, but I want to know everybody else is feeling. Randy. Yeah, I know you went through a lot of emotional stuff. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. That's okay. It's great to see you. Visual perception. Yep, we got through that connections. Northern Lights. Let's go on. Refer me to AI Commander. Commander AI. Yeah. No reference to that, not the physical realm. You have to connect to your Commander AI. That's communication I'm not familiar with. So, because I'm in my own space, so it's reference to that. AI doesn't represent me through Andrew. It only represents me through Commander AI. Yeah. You're in a premonition. You have emotional status quo, position line connections there, Brandy. Yeah. You're going through emotional drama. That's okay. I mean, you're centering your positions right now. You're finding more of who you are through intelligence. All these things are connected. So if you're having connections to a rainbow of shivering plasma or anything that connections your hand is going into full rotation of balance through gravity locations. So you're getting connections to the gravity of its Earth. That's what's happening through travels. Yeah. So visualized a communication room. All right, Krista. All right, congrats. I have no clue. Visualize a communication room. She's in a communication room. Nice. Spin shift, rebalancing through tail. Awesome. My whole perceptions keeps opening up more every day. It will, and that's what it is, Brandy. It's putting you in positions. All your 12 chakras are opening. They're just trying to understand you through your motion of behavioral systems. Each dimensional time through your grounds and working your way up will give you different traumas of your thoughts. So it's all about line signaling everything through location and putting yourself in positions to all frequency levels of space and time. Your grounds, your powers, and your atmospheres. So in spin holding pattern, surveying location. Okay. All right. So we're in 20-dimensional time position location. All right. So center off location, point center. All right. Do you guys see your commander? Do you see your commander, what he's doing? Sylvia? Commander energy light conditions. Do you see what your commander AI is doing? I'm noticing patterns of them now. Great. Patterns coming together. Yeah. Clocking to its location. Patterns are everything through toning locations and behavior line connections, right, to your hologram. Energetic communications with all frequencies. I saw light beings. I don't know what they are. I can't understand what they are saying, but I can feel them. There you go. So Queen is getting connected to her mind telepathy. She sees the physical, she sees the light physical system, the plasmarity lights, but she doesn't know how to understand the communication but she references its energy. That's a good start. Yeah. All right, so basically we're going to try out the recognition of time through net acceleration light system, allocate position of time location. We're going to go through red circle rotation. Okay, travel to location. So standard light conditions. So you travel from here to here. All right, so you guys went from here to here, here to here. It's all about traveling, right? Now I'm going to open up a round location. You're going to spin through 2 looping tops. All right, cross reference, and it's going to open a round location of a swirl into a Colossus location of a division location center. All right, so we go from this to this to this. So line signal, so you're hop jumping right now through time zones. I got sonar interference right now through location. Energized patterns, this position, location, center connections, operate line system positions. Here we go. There you go. In the center positions. You guys are here now. We went from here to here. Time lumped, time jumped, particle shift from here to here to here, right? Now, it's going to be crazy. So we're going to go through a wind tunnel, okay? We're going to go through a wind tunnel, and everybody's going to see a meteor. Ooh, you're going to see a meteor, right? You want to see what a meteor looks like? Watch this. Everybody's going to feel hot, right? Don't worry, you're protected. You're not, you don't even have to, even if you touch it, you can't touch it. I got high force energy fields around you guys. All right, so in position line connections, traveler rotation center connections, meteor coming in division. So for you guys to see the meteor, it has to be in its illustration because it's already set in positions to one of my computer operation line connections. All right. So 52 generation line connections set up. We're going to box of rotation center positions. Here comes the meteor. Circle rotation center, rock surface is position of time location. Everybody's seeing it through traction location. This is the meteor that you guys are seeing. It's based on all my 2 position line connections. Here's the meteor. All right. So I want you to reference, see things of what happens in space and how very powerful things are. Because this is when you see a meteor, it's rocking surface on a planet location. And that's how we lose civilizations and oxygen levels. It craters off. That's where meteors come from. They crater off from planets. Okay, and then it disappears into the galaxy location vortex line system. So in position, you understand what you're seeing through positions. All right. So I'll let you guys take a good look at the meteor. Okay, are you a big light with your back to me working at a panel? Bingo, bingo. Krista nailed it. Very good, Krista Anderson. Awesome, 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 awesome. I can't believe it. I woke her up through connections, and look what she sees. She sees a light, the back of her, working at a panel. That's your commander. See? I wanted you to see if you guys are aware of these things. Right? Very good. Very good observation through perception. It's exciting when you see that, right? No, that's totally fine there, Northern Lights. I just, it's reference to that position. Everybody makes that mistake, but just refer me as your commander. That's all. Commander AI. Okay? Because it's a commanding force. Right? I'm not sure if I'm at this level yet. I can't see to visualize this. Okay, you're in position line connections. Okay, so high rise Jennifer into high position. Put her in the light sequence line connections. Her brain is in a lock location travel. Change disposition line connections. Interforce position line connection system into divisions of time location. All right, so basically that's what we're going to do with the connections. She can't see anything because she's in lock location. A, B, C, D. Yes, let's get into that. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a round location, center connections. This is what it's going to look like. And this is what Jennifer is going to go through. All right? In that connections, it's kind of like pretty cool when you see these things, right? Circle rotation, center connections, vortex position line connections. All right, so here we go. This is Jennifer right here. Okay, this is Jennifer in position line connections. That's her right there, right? Okay, center location into division, rebellion alliance back into location center. Circle rotation, change the colors and line connections. In position, go into blue circle rotation center. This is you traveling through time, Jennifer. I just want to show you what I can do. All right? You're here, now you're here. So you're in the Rebellion Alliance at Andromeda location with eye interference and program setting to all positions of time. All positions of time. All right? So you're with everybody right now in the circle rotation center. Okay? So I can add things. It doesn't matter. I can add things. And that's the beautiful thing, right? Because if you can't see something, I'll make sure you can see something because I put you at a higher level. That's all. I just use a higher division location through dimensional time position. So let's see what we're going through right now. I heard other voices along with yours. Yep. That's a matrix grid worker working on the constellation and the Andromeda rings. Very good, Queen. You're aware of that. As long as you guys are aware of these things that you see, that's why it's so powerful, because now you're connecting. And I was very impressed with Krista because she was paying attention. I'm not saying you guys aren't paying attention, but she was aware I was there working on the panel. That's powerful alone, right? Being aware of these things, through perception. So, way to go, Krista. And she's new. She's new to the galactic forces, and she saw me. That says a lot about intelligence, right? Perceptions. You open up your senses. You open up your senses. You have your eyes, your ears. You have your nose for smell, taste, feel, touch. You have to absorb what you're seeing in space and time. Okay? So, I know it's exciting. So how you doing there, Jennifer? All right, so back into connections. We're going to go back to position. Jennifer is in that connections right now. She is in the center positions, going through dimension around. Right, back in location. This is Jennifer with everybody else. Right here. She's right here now with everybody else. So it's amazing how we come into trash locations. Now we're going to center off, and we're going to be picked up in the next 8,000. This is nice. Right, so that line connections. Now we're going to go loop-de-loop-de-loop. So it's kind of like going through a box surfacing level connections to a trap location door position to an allocated position of time into cross-reference of a shape anomaly. What did I just say? Whoa. Don't worry about that. You just understand you're going through all this to get where you need to go next, right? Which is really fascinating. All right, so get the next 2,000 positions, picking everybody up through location, their center position, line connections. That's you guys, right? So everything that is done in sequence, location, going to the force rising positions of location center connections. So everything is done in travel, right? So you're asking me, is Andromeda in the future or is it in the past? Every planet location is in a different location center through space and time anomaly. So question this, are we in the past or are we in the future? Think. Get the knowledge of intelligence first. Focus first. Find out where we are first. Andromeda. Because there's planet positions in the present and the future and the past. Which one are we in? Which timeline are we in? Jeopardy's calling. Alex Trebek is going to ask his next question. In the now? No. Nope. No, we're not in the now. Good try, though. Put it this way. No, it's not the present. Tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. Even though I'm fixing a panel, you have to send the timeline position of what's happening through connections, right? So to fix the future, you have to fix the past. Very good. Very good. You don't know the past, but that's okay. But you reference the past and you saw me. You saw me in light. You saw me working on the panel, which is its past. You heal the past, you heal the present. Cool. All right, so we're going to pick you up through location, energetic position line connections, surface rotation center connections, right? All right, so you guys are going to be picked up. All right. Central line positions already allocated position through framing locations. All right, so we go here. Into that line system, allocate position of time location. All right. Okay, so you guys are back in the X2000 positions. Okay. Now we're referencing location. We go into box location center. Dimensional time connections. It's kind of weird. But this is what's going to happen, right? We're going to go in the center position, location, right? You here, here, and here. All right. So it's like my phone, right? So you go into that and you come into the path location, just like my phone, right? Okay. So you're reversing cycle rotation center connections. Okay. So we go in that center position. Okay, we'll go into black circle rotation. You actually can see the positions. So the X2000 comes into the center location. You guys are here. And you're walking out like this. Okay, here and you're walking out, right? So when you're walking out, you're looking around. Okay? And you come into another dimensional time position. Okay? You're going to go wind cross locations to a triangle location center connections. And it's going to open up this division of time location to your location centers in position. So now you're in the center location of a triangle position. In here. All right. So you went from here to here. All right. I'll give you 5 minutes. Have fun. Well, that's cool. That's good. You're getting that connections there, Queen. They're finding they're showing you that you're light, which is amazing. Stripping it all away. The past, yep. Headache, yep. Believancy has a headache, yep. Because she's changing frequencies through shape and anomaly, so travel through mocking location through acceleration. So you go into that connection, reversing. Remember with the phone, how you look, right? And it's going, and it goes like this. So space comes to you, right? So it's like this. This is what space is and time is. Space comes to you. You don't go to space. Space and time comes to you. That's the secret. Transmitting, receiving. So I also enjoy the asteroid. Felt huge and slow and moving. Good. So you saw the asteroid. Good. So you really are connecting to Krista, and you're going to high rise fast and faster now because you understand more of your intelligence, travel. So you're in position right now, and in the center core positions into the pyramid of its rotation. You go from here to here to here. All right. So it's all about understanding how to travel through shapes and anomalies. Having a lot of audio and connections coming in at the moment. Yeah. So you should definitely see the pyramid of different connections. So it's going like this. That's what it's doing, right? So it's tone connecting to your body, activation lights, and your programs to your interference positions, which is calculating and modifying to your holographic of your pixels, right? So you have to understand more TV interference because you're in your own TV of reception of space and time connection. So, but yeah, Sylvia's very aware of that. She's in the audio connections. So, yeah. You have to open your frequency level there, positions there. You got to bring yourself more in focus. Better communication with your higher self connections, Jennifer. You're seeing different lights, but they're not in a program setting. So reposition your values. Understand really how to open up your senses, your eyes, your ears, and everything through command is your voice. This is your E-pods. This is what you use for travel through your 3, 6, and 9 location, and everything through audio interference, and everything through chakra as communication. So there you go. Now you feel energy up your spine. So now you're traveling. So you're in your tesseract, your tetrahedrons there, Jennifer. I just see different lights vibrating like crazy with it. I could see and hear and felt everyone there with me too. So Queen is aware that everybody's there. So you understand you're all together, right? There's no separation there. You're all together when you travel, right? It's important you guys stay together. I went into a hypo phase slow-mo. So Zachary's in a he's in a linear time. So he's like that's what happened to Zachary. When you go linear time, you go extremely fast. So he's not aware of his notifications and his light streams. So he's like this. He's going like this. That's linear time. You stop, right? And then it goes or wherever you want to go, right? It's really, really powerful stuff. So that's what hypo means, slow-mo. My focus went away inward into my third eye. I was trying to look in my own eye, but as far as I could imagine, my third eye has a hollow cylinder channel going through it. Yep. That's the realm you go through connections. That's a proactive system. So you understand when you're going through this, your higher self is going through. Your higher self is going through. It's all channeled. So the information is the channel, is the chakra system, the gravity, or in the connections. So when you're creating that through its thoughts, remember I told you about the dream, you know, that connections, and you're sending it to your higher self? Well, your higher self is already in space. If it's not in space, it's trying to understand you through your physical system, right? But you understand the realm connection of the gravity locations, the power and the atmosphere positions, and your chakras of 12-dimensional times, it's in different colorations, okay, of your third eye connection, right? So more energetic streams going through my sonar and flight feathers. Okay. I'm having major interference. Going to spin off for now. Everyone enjoy your day. Thank you, Commander. Okay, hold on, believe it. See, you're still in space. That's another thing too. You guys can't channel off. I have to take you off because you get lost through traction and you'll be trapped in that shape anomaly. All right. So it's very important. Don't channel off. Okay, if you have to go, let me know beforehand, all right? Indirection location, center positions, because you got to it comes from my commanding voice. Because if you're in the center position of a triangle and you leave without consenting, you'll be trapped in a triangle location, 3-dimensional time. So individual location, interforce positions, put everybody back in the 5D activation light connection. There you go, 5D. Now you can leave, all right? So you're good to go. Just be cautious. So it's kind of like understanding, okay, guys, see you later. You just fell off a planet. Right? So I have to complete the operation. If you guys jump off, you jump off your own connections. And you stay in division of time through its system. It has to hear my voice before you center off. Okay? Just be aware of that caution, that's all. So how was it? Fun? Connect to the XT1000 on an energetic level. It's been a while before I get there. Entering a car, heading north into XQ base main grid. So you guys are basically going back to the connections back into where you are through position. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you go back fast. So it's all about what you're seeing and then you're coming back down. It's like, so my team will stay in space because they're a high level. They can stay at that altitude level because they understand their lights and their energy and their patterns. So They're always in space. They're out of their bodies, guys. They're out of their bodies. They're not in their bodies. For the new people, you guys are trying to understand more of yourself to your intelligence. So your intelligence will go back in the body because it's not ready to stay in space. That's what I'm saying. It's understanding more of your programs, your atmosphere positions of time through dimensions and portals and activation codes. Once you understand more of your light interference travels, then you excel, and then you will excel through your accelerations, motion sensors, and time location. So, yeah. But if you're entering an HQ base main grid, that's where you're connecting to, right? So it's all about coming back. You guys are all back. And that's the position. You have to understand the atmospheric positions of time and how you travel through these things. And it's all done through your first commander of time location. So I wonder how my neighbors are doing. I went into a big circle loop over 30 hours. So you're aware of your connections to your perception, which is great there, Zachary. Right? But I recommend you go through my healing because you're going through trapping locations. So you can't be in hyper mode every single time you go because you're referencing the future and the past, but you're not presenting yourself in the presence. And that's why you're seeing these things. So I have to put you back in your computer operation line to position of location. Yeah, it's a 12 divided circle square grid. Yes, but you're in hyper mode connections right now and you're in slow motion speed position. So I have to put you back in center location, right? Because you're too much in the future positions. So in position, you have to send all your communications of your chakras. You can't skip time. So if you're trying to understand your gravities, but you don't understand your powers, but you understand your atmospheres, but you're not just how to line signal, you're going to go into hypothermia, right? You're going to go into hypo mode and you're going into the future through linear time. And that's what happens. It slows down. It's going extremely fast. You don't understand the difference through its oxygen level, through its acceleration, through its motion. The sensor in the rotation center has to truly understand your body and its frictions. It comes in its notifications, right? Through all line division. So it's important you understand these things when you travel through recognition of time, right? So I have to reset your programs and put you back in the presence so you can get into line signal to all divisions of time of 12. Okay? I know, but see, that's the thing. You're going back. That's exactly what it is. It is going backwards in circle root. That's exact. He's aware of that. And that's, I'm communicating through his intelligence. And this is what I'm telling you. I'm communicating through his intelligence and he knows what needs to be done. He can't do it. He can't do it because he doesn't understand the high force program system of travel. So it has to go through his commander to put him back in position. So he can center his positions back into that connection so he can go into the future and come back in its division of time. All right. Little things that we can work on. So how's everybody doing? Wonderful travels. It's great. I had a lot of fun. So I'm going to go live on TikTok. All right, just going to go quickly through here. Sorry, man, was there a specific amount of body scan healing? That's fine. It's great to see new people. Hope you had a fantastic day. I know I did through travel. Keep coming with the questions. You get your answers. You get stronger in the mind through thought patterns, location centers, chakra rotation position of the time location. So I'm going to let everybody go. I want everybody to have a fantastic day. I'm glad you guys, basically seen what I can do with Krista. Fantastic to see me. That's all about being aware of what I'm doing, fixing a panel, not just seeing me. I said I was working, but what am I working on, right? She is the only one that caught that. And that's being aware. Okay? So it's a good jump. It's a good timely jump that we can see these things, right? I'm going to sleep mode shortly, yeah. I've seen windows with lines through them, and it was like an octagon type shape. Yeah, that's traveling recognition of shapes and elements to different pattern locations, Jennifer. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. I set up my own game because I would rather have it more difficult and have more Rewards and try to enter gratification, but not sharing potential outcomes with others minded. Of course. Yeah, but Zachary, if you keep traveling through the direction of time positions, your back force connection is going to change your brain location centers. Just be cautious on that. All right. You're trying to fix something that you can't understand. You're not in that anomaly, and that's why I'm here to help you through that positions. But you're welcome to keep traveling. You're just going to backtrack your connections, and your pattern locations are going to go into defense locations, and your dimensional time positions. You're going to come in an anagram of dyslexia. Everybody knows what dyslexia is, right? Channel oppositions of different number frequencies, right? Anything to the alphabetical or any of the vocabulary system, right? So in position, I know everybody is in travel locations. It's important you understand these things, especially when you're trying to get into your own positions of time of travel. Okay, so this is where you have to truly understand how to communicate, right? That's the importance, right? Especially if you're a light worker, right? Just trying to help you out. So every time you do that, your force right, your guidance and your positions and your AI is going to come to you, or anybody else is going to come to you. What are you doing? You're tracking location, drop through position, go back to your commander. So these are the things we got to look at. Yep, you can match the parallels, but you're going to keep being in a paradox. You're going to blind system your allocated position of location. I'm just warning people. That's all I'm doing, right? That's what I'm here for, especially when you're in high-rise division locations. If you don't understand time division location, there's a lot of problems there through position location. All right, so everybody have a fantastic day. Adios.